So for week number 4 in Disciplines and Ideas in the Applied Social Sciences, the topic is all about the methods, tools, theories, and counseling processes. Of course, in the field of counseling. So ito namang week 4, though may mga theories siya, no? Itong una nating topic, counseling in its work settings, pinapakilala lang naman ito na yung nabanggit ko sa inyo nung nakaraang Google Meet natin, that there are many fields of counseling. So, hindi lang siya nakafocus sa school, pero meron din siya sa community setting, private sector, sa mga institutions, and of course, sa government. No? Kaya nga meron mga government employees, of course, in the field of counseling, dun yung sa mga rehabilitation center, institutions, mga orphanage, sa mga nangangalaga sa mga kababaihan, sa mga bata, at sa mga elders or sa mga older adults, no? So, in a counseling and its work settings, so basic lang naman ito, pinapakilala nito yung iba't ibang field or sakop ng counseling. So, this is the counseling and its processes. So, meron tayong I think that's 6 stages, no? Nabanggit natin nung nakaraan that counseling is an art and a science, no? Kailangan you have the empathy, you have the flexibility to find techniques and solutions to your client, even with your friends, and science because it is a method, no? Ito lang naman ay mga reviews. But as a science, no, dun tayo pupunta tayo sa field ng science kasi nga ito ay scientific method, meron siyang processes. So this topic is all about the processes of counseling, gagamitin natin yung counseling as a science. So, there are 6 stages, no, and processes. So, processes of counseling according to NIST Tool 2003. So, the stage number 1, so di ba 6 stages? So, the first stage is relationship building. No? So, in order for a counselor or a person, no, to build a relationship, of course, tinatawag nga itong stage 1 as the heart of counseling. No? Why? Because a relationship is one of the core or the center or the foundation of the counseling to succeed. No? To listen, to hear, to know the problem, no? To give empathy, or putting yourself on the shoes of the other people. So that's why relationship building, it is the establishing of rapport. No, dapat meron kayong relationship, meron kayong interaction, meron kayong understanding, meron kayong acceptance. So you know, you get to know with each other. Well, in also in relationship building as a stage 1, ito yung pinaka foundation or the most critical of all the stages. So kasi dito nagsi-start yung understanding, aside from understanding, your relationship, the integration of your perspective of the counselor and the counselee. So, mapapalapit ang inyong loob sa isa't isa as a good relationship, syempre because of communication. No? That is stage 1, relationship building, the heart of counseling. And then, stage 2, ito na yung assessment and diagnosis. So, sa assessment and diagnosis naman, after you build the relationship with your client and the counselor, this is the crucial stage. So, maaring ito ay isa sa mga pinakamahirap o pinakamaingat na stages kasi kailangan mo mag-gather ng information, kailangan mo mag-gather ng data, ng number, and this is the window for the counselor to have a thorough appreciation of the client's condition. So meaning, by means of giving assessment feedback to the client and giving diagnosis, the counselor will now identify the analysis of the root cause of the problem of yung pinagdaanan ng kanyang client. No? So as assessment and diagnosis, this is the stage wherein after you build the relationship, you will now know deeper or more, mas malalim pa dun sa pagkakakilala ninyo. No? Being relationship hindi lang enough, but also the information, no? The confidentiality. No? So assessment and diagnosis, kailangan ma-identify. This is the crucial stage to know the cause of the problem of your client. So that is stage number 2. And then, stage number 3, it is the formulation of counseling goals. So, after you build the relationship and then you gather data, therefore, kailangan nyo na magkaroon ng direction about counseling goals. Direction of the counseling process. Saan nga ba tutungo ang counseling? Ano-ano ang mga stages na maaari niya puntahan? or ano ang mga stages na kanyang madadaanan. So, this is the process goal. Ito na yung kasunduan. So, this is the outcome. No, what is the result? After I treated my client, the counselor will now elaborate some future references or future results, no, about the process of counseling. And outcome goals, it stipulate the desire of the client in terms of the counseling process. Whether magtutuloy pa ba ang client or titigil na, or siya ba ay hanggang stage 2 lamang, or hanggang dun siya sa stage number 3. So stage 3, the formulation of counseling goals. And then stage number 4, the intervention and problem solving. So you already have your goals. Now, you will going to solve the problem. Therefore, magkakaroon na yan ng process, nandun na yung hypothesis, nandun na yung data gathering, nandun na yung step by step, no? Aalamin na yung mga detailed information, sino yung mga kinasamang individuals, groups, couples, and family counseling. So, maaari niyang yung problem niya ay mag-fall dito sa uh, counseling process na ito. And then, the client's participation in choosing intervention strategies has more benefits. Siyempre, walang malulugi dito, no? Siyempre, dapat, after you build the relationship, and now willing makipag-cooperate ang iyong client to the counselor to participate, no? For the intervention, kailangan mas magpasakop na yung kliyente sa kanyang counselor, no? Siyempre, para mas matulungan siya and more benefits. That is stage 4. And then for these are the other client participation, no. Yung mga process na pwedeng pagdaanan, mapping. Kailangan yung mapping of the different approaches. Pag nalaman yung mga problem, no, kanya nang iisa-isahin, himay-himayin yung mga solution. Mapping ibig sabihin no, nahanapin niyo yung mga possible solutions. Ano yung mga techniques or methods maaaring i-apply. And then doon niyo na rin malalaman kung ano yung role ng isang counselor and the client. Siya ba ay nandito sa family counseling? Siya ba ay nasa group counseling? Siya ba ay nasa individual counseling? So, ano yung role ng counselor? Pwedeng child counselor, maaaring guidance counselor sa school, no? There are many fields, kagaya ng nabanggit ko sa inyo kanina. And then, ito pa yung ilan sa mga references, no, sa problem solving. Para din siyang scientific method, you need to detect the problem. After you detect, define it, and then give solution, decision making, execution, and nandiyan na yung try mo yung method, i-apply mo na, and then the verification if it is effective or not. And then the fifth stage, termination and follow-up. So termination and follow-up, this is all about ito na yung hangganan nung process, no? Termination, are you going to stop it after you, maaaring hindi niya solve yung problem, no? So, ang pag-uusapan ngayon ng counselor at counselee, no, if they're going to end the counseling, no, or review the counseling, closure, ito na ba yung types na na-solve na ba nila? Nagkaroon na sila ng solution, nagkasundo na sila dun sa main problem. And then yun na nga, the plan. What is your purpose on the future's plan? No? And that is termination and follow-up. After you give the solution, you will decide, no, are you going to terminate this or will going to continue or will follow up or review, no, para mas maging okay pa yung resulta. So that is stage 5, termination and follow-up. And the last stage, which is stage number 6, research and evaluation. No, after everything, the process, so therefore, ito na yung pinaka fundamental part of the evaluation or the process. Ibig sabihin nun, ito na yung result. So, research and evaluation, no? After you diagnose, no, what are the symptoms, what are the causes of the problems, no? This is the appreciation, no? Kung effective, no? If it's effective, okay, go. If it's not, so balik tayo ulit sa research. Para siyang, paikot siya eh. It is a cycle, no? The process of, it is a cycle whether you will begin to the top, nag-umpisa ka pa ba sa una? Or you will just end the counseling process? So, nandito yung decision. Research and evaluation. You will evaluate if it is the counseling process is effective, successful. If not, you're going to go back to from the top. No, babalik ka dun sa umpisa. So, that is the stages of counseling. So, ano lang naman yan. Ulitin natin, no? So, the 6 stages, Stage 1, relationship building. Stage 2, assessment and diagnosis. Stage 3, formulation of counseling goals. Stage 4, intervention and problem solving. Stage 5, termination and follow-up. And the last stage is research and evaluation. So those are the 6 stages or the processes of counseling. So super madali lang siya, Para siyang, ano lang siya kung ano yung, parang scientific method, ano yung process na pagdadaanan ng isang problem, what are the causes, what are the effects, and what are the results. So now, let's go to the theories. Okay, so ito na yung pinaka-favorite ninyo, mga theories. Now, so these theories, no, ito ay na aking na video tutorial na dun sa aking nakaraang link. Pero yung kasi ay mga keywords, so dito mas detailed, mas compact yung gagawin ko dito. So, meron tayong tatlong classification ng theories na dadaanan, no? Classical theories, experiential theories, and cognitive theories. So, unahin na natin yung classical theories. No? When you hear the word classical, what comes first on your mind? Classical. So, meaning classic, old-fashioned, meaning old. It is perennially. Perennial meaning it is forever. It is a constant theory. It is still relevant to the current situation, even if it's old, even if it's classic, even if it's old-fashioned theory, still, maaari pa rin natin siyang gamitin today, in the present. That's why classical theories are very important, even it's old. So, ano-ano kaya yung mga kabilang sa mga classical theories? Unahin na natin of course, ito, kilalang kilala niyo na siya, no? First sem pa lang, meron na to. Sigmund Freud's psychoanalytic theory. So Sigmund Freud, the father of psychoanalysis, no? So kilala niyo naman siya, no? Psychoanalytic theory. So konting review lamang ito, no? So kung babalikan natin, psychoanalytic theory, nagbigay ako nung nakaraan ng iceberg metaphor. So the id, ego, and the super ego. So nandun yung mga unconscious, conscious, and subconscious thoughts, no? But psychoanalytic theory, as what I've said before, it is the analysis of the mind. No, it's about the human mind. No, are you conscious? Makikita nyo the iceberg metaphor. So yung nasa pinaka baba niyan, that is the unconscious. So those are the feelings, those are the emotions, those are the thinking. And then nandun sa may shallow part ng water, under the tip of the iceberg, that is the subconscious. No, ito lang yung mga memory, related sa mga memory, childhood memories, yung mga bigla-biglang maalala after you saw or see a thing related to your past experiences, just like deja vu. No? And then the tip of the iceberg, that is the conscious part. So yun yung aware tayo. That's the time or the situation that we are aware. But psychoanalysis or the psychoanalytic theory focuses on the unconscious mind of a person. Those are the emotions, thinking, and the feelings that a person is not being aware of what's happening or what's happening now. What about my feelings, my thinking, and my emotions? So psychoanalysis goal is to restructure the personality to be more aware of the things that we are not aware. No? So it's very ironic being aware to the things that we are not aware. No? Ang ganda ng analysis dito ni Sigmund Freud. So it's about personal adjustment through the reorganization of internal forces. No? You're going to bubuhayin yung mga memories. No? You remember the memories, the emotions, the thinking in order for you to identify the cause of the problems or the crisis of your personality. So, ganun ka-ironic itong psychoanalytic theory ni Sigmund Freud. And then, ilan lamang ito sa mga goals of psychoanalysis. So, alam niyo naman, ego, superego, and the id. Ego, it is the balance principle. Id, this is the instinct. No, this is the gratification of the satisfaction. No, this is the pleasure principle. And then superego, it is the conscience. No, so ego, the balance principle between superego and the id. And then the three goals of psychoanalysis. Yun na nga, binanggit ko sa inyo, nabubuhayin yung mga unconscious feelings, emotions, and thinking. was to relieve from the stress, to relieve or to settle the past, and to gain insights from the past, no? To control the emotion, no? Ilan yan sa mga goals ng psychoanalysis, no? So just remember that three parts of the personality: superego, ego, and the id. Okay, ito ay naman ay mga methods lang ng mga these are just examples. So tignan niyo na sa PowerPoint presentation. Ilang analysis ito ni Miss Tool batay sa kanyang observation to the psychoanalytic theory. Ilang methods, no? To repress repress the memories, to bubuhayin yung mga memories. These are just the methods, no? To be aware of those things that we are not aware. Okay. Three: association, confrontation, and clarification, and interpretation. More on ano to, feelings and emotions. Okay. Second, under classical theory, Alfred Adler's individual psychology. No, so individual psychology, it is all about the cognition. Cognition, of course, is about thinking about thinking. No, it's like gaining understanding of the clients and assess why clients behave and think in certain ways. Because we know that people think differently. No? So what are the rules of thinking? What are the factors that affects thinking? Kaya nga individual psychology, thinking, may connection na human behavior and the thinking, the process. Okay, so these are the four goals of individual psychology. Of course, individual psychology, it focuses on lifestyles, how thinking affects your lifestyle. It's about changes in behavior. Kaya individual psychology, egalitarian relationship, is there an equal society? Is there an equal relationship between the people, the environment, and you? By what are you thinking? So, ba may relationship? Ang pag-iisip mo, pag-iisip ng ibang tao, ng environment, and it affects on the behavior, the human behavior. It may affects your human behavior. Ito naman, ilan naman ito sa mga, kailangan kasi interaction. There should be interaction, no? Individual psychology. In order for you, no, to develop yourself, you need to interact with other people. You need socialization. You need to know what are the reactions, feedback, what are the critics, what are the comments of the people around you. Not just your thinking, but how the other people, the environment affects your thinking. Kaya nga, establishing the relationship. No, these are some phases. These are some skills, winning respect and offering hope, encouragement from other people, the interaction from the environment. And then the second phase, analysis, assessment, promoting insights. What are the lessons learned from the insights? And then, ito, reorientation is about individuality. What are the catching oneself, not building, giving growth to the self, no? By means of interaction, socialization. Yun yung individual psychology. Ironic, individual psychology. But it needs socialization, interacting with the other people from the environment. And then the third one, Carl Jung's analytic psychology. So the pronunciation is not Carl Jung, but Carl Jung. No, that's the Carl Jung's analytic psychology. So para siyang ano, di ba? Psychoanalytic theory versus analytic psychology. Para siyang pinaghiwalay. Psychoanalytic and then analytic psychology. No, there once Carl Jung and Sigmund Freud are teacher and student. So Carl Jung's teacher is Sigmund Freud. So they are colleagues before, but Carl Jung disagreed with the theory of Freud about the analysis of the mind because it's a very absurd, no? It's controversial or confidential. That's why Carl Jung separated from and resulted from another theory, the analytic psychology. Eva Freud's psychoanalytic theory focuses on emotions, feelings, and the unconscious mind. Carl Jung's analytic psychology focuses more on the beliefs, more on the fiction, more on religion, more on traditional, more on customs, more on values. So psychoanalytic theory separated from analytic psychology. Analytic psychology, more on beliefs, more on fiction, more on unbelievable things. No, that culture is a big factor in affecting the thinking, in affecting the values and customs of a certain person. No, that's why analytic psychology derives from or resulted from psychotherapy. So under psychoanalytic theory, wherein analytic psychology, there's psychotherapy, meaning highlights the task of the unconscious processes in psychological functioning, meaning dreams and the other procedures of the unconscious, everything uh, future or fortune depends on our dreams. So kaya nga sabi ko, it's a culture really affects the thinking of the people because custom and values, what are the beliefs of the people? No, it depends on their culture. No, what are the ano yung kinalakyan? What are the insights gained from the ancestors, from the culture that you're within? That's why according to Carl Jung, the dreams, affects our interpretation of the future because of the beliefs that we have. It also affects our personality. No, it also affects our mental health and wellness. That's why a psychotherapy has a big factor, especially in dreams and other procedures in our life. And the overall goal is to work for the clients transcend and move towards self-realization by helping the self emerges. So psychotherapy, it is more on self-realization, repressing the dreams, uh, just like Freud's unconscious mind, and then aside from the dreams related to Carl Jung, they're in Jungian counseling. So this method of treatment must be flexible, has to be established with the character and the persona of the clients. Meaning, Jungian counseling focuses on the dreams but finds limited to analyze a single dream. So it's hard to interpret the dreams because some dreams can be forgotten, some dreams can be remembered. No, that's why the role of counselors here in Carl Jung's analytic psychology is about helping the client appreciate the meaning of the dreams and utilize them to understand more the client's personality. So the dreams, according to Jungian counseling, affects the personality or the interpretation of the person to his or her future. So that's the classical theories. Just remember Sigmund Freud, Alfred Adler, and then Carl Jung. So they are very connected when it comes to emotions, feelings, and thinking, no? And dreams interpretation. So that is the classical theories. And then, after the classical theories, we have experiential theories. So experiential theories, from the word itself, experiential experience. So it's all about your experience, what your expression of the past, of the present. So experience. So experiential theories, no, for short, it is more on affective theories, meaning experiential, as what you've said, experiential experience. So your thinking affects everything around you, especially your emotions. So your emotion, your mental health is being affected by your uh, thinking. No? So your emotions really have a role in generating impact to your thinking. So parang may connection, no? It's like hitting two birds in one stone, no? Your emotion and the thinking. No, without your emotion, your thinking, you like overthinking, no, maaring depression, maaring mag-ugat dito based on the experience, no? You have from the past. It maybe changes, no, somehow as the times goes by. But experiential theories, no, meron naman itong dalawang theory. Una, Carl Rogers, person-centered theory. Now, person-centered theory. Of course, person-centered theory, it's all about the being open to the experience, having self-trust, possesses internal source of evaluation, and willingness to grow. So, person-centered theory is it's like parang hindi naman siya nalalagay sa individual psychology dun sa classical theory ni Alfred Adler. Kasi person-centered, it's more on the environment, no? How the environment affects your experience, how you achieve adjustment, how you trust yourself, and your willingness to grow. So it is the more on self-actualization of your the future, the interpretation, self-trust, self-care, self-love, willingness to grow, openness to experiences. So it's about your experience, how the experience molds you today, tomorrow, and in the future. And also, these are some willingness to adapt or adjust based on your experience. So these are some conditions or some examples. So understanding what are the unconditional positive regard. Is your experience very negative or is positive? So ilan ito sa mga ways na maaaring gawin ng isang counselor sa kanyang counselee, no, to help the feelings treated via the process. Pwede kasing gamitin gamot din yung psychotherapy, yung person-centered theory, no, based on the experience. And then, the second one, Friedrich Salomon Pearl's Gestalt Therapy, or the Fritz Perls Gestalt Therapy. So this theory, this Gestalt Therapy, no, it's more on the dialogue between the therapist and the clients. So most importantly, dialogue is very the crucial part, no, ito yung mas need. The needed treatment for Pearl's Justice Therapy is the dialogue, the communication between the client, the therapist, and the counselor and the counselee. The goal here is about awareness on environment, a self-acceptance, no, and being aware of what are the changes that the person may encounter, that the environment, no, affects his or her feelings. So first gestalt therapy, the most important keyword here is dialogue. So there should be a dialogue between the therapist and the client. No, this Fritz Perls interpretation of this theory, gestalt, there should be choices of information para din siya sa ano confidentiality of the client on the information that he or she are going to share to his or her counselor. And then, ito naman yun sa mga techniques, no? About responsibility. What are the responsibility as you are growing? What are the personal tasks? No? What are we, we're assuming that the environment may also affect you. No? You're, kailangan ng dialogue, no? For understanding, cooperation, and you are aware now, empty chair technique. So these are some examples on how gestalt techniques can be done. Oh, so that's it. So madali lang naman siya. More on experiences, how the environment affects you, your self-confidence, your self-trust, your responsibility, your self-acceptance. So ilan lang yun sa mga keywords na maaaring tandaan sa mga theories. So more on experiences. See Carl Rogers' person-centered theory and Fritz Perls Gestalt Therapy. So those are the two theories under experiential theories. And then the last batch of the theories is cognitive behavioral theories. So cognitive behavioral theories, from the word itself, cognitive, so it's about thinking again. So cognitive theories, meron tayo ditong tatlo. So as we define first what is cognitive, it is more on thinking, it is more on thoughts, beliefs, internal images. It's about mental health, mental processes. Pag sinabi niyong cognitive, it's about thinking again. Unahin na natin dyan si Albert Ellis, Rational Emotive Behavior Therapy. So, this is for short REBT. REBT, Rational Emotive Behavior Therapy. So, Albert Ellis theory, ito yung kanyang framework no, related sa REBT. But to make sense, so for short, REBT is about private talk. It's about self-talk. The highlight of our REBT is the role of the cognition on emotions with assertion that persons can be best appreciated in terms of the internal cognitive dialogue or the self-talk. So the private talk is a special technique in REBT because REBT, self-talk, it's about private talk with the self. So hindi ka naman pagkakamalang baliw kung kinakausap ang sarili mo. Are you okay? Self, are you okay? Are you depressed? Kaya mo ba ang mga tasks in the school, in the academics, in the situation in the pandemic? So, REBT, concerns with the self-talk, with the private talk, with the self. Hindi pa sa mga kausapin mo ang sarili. So this technique really applies here in REBT. That's why the main goal of REBT is to reform the self-defeating cognition of the client. No? What are the factors that may affect overthinking, anxiety, stress, and depression? So self-talk, you can do this all the time, no? Even when you're going to sleep at night, even when you wake up in the morning, no? So just talk to yourself. No? Are you okay? Are you what are the factors that affect your loneliness, your sadness? Are you do you hesitate yourself? No? So these are mas maganda siyang technique, REBT, no? The rational emotive behavior therapy. Which is self-talk. No? Mas magandang kausapin ng sarili mo sa salamin. Diba? And then, didactic, provoking, kasi nga, kausap mo yung sarili mo. Ikaw yung mag-identify mismo ano yung mga problems to defeat those no, na may affect. Ano ba, kung gusto mo, magsulat ka, kausapin mo yung sarili mo sa mirror, self-conversation, verbalization, silent talk. It's all about yourself. No? Talk freely. Ilan lamang to sa mga techniques pa rin na binigay ko rin example. Okay, the second one, ito, napapanahon ito, no? Aaron Beck's cognitive theory of depression. No? So, Aaron Beck's, dito pala nagsimula yung about sa depression. So, ipapakita ko sa inyo, this is the triangle of negatives. Ano na, kung ano sa triangle of negatives, no? It only says this theory, Aaron Beck's theory of this cognitive theory of depression, that everything from the self you think negatively will also affect the world, of course. You thinking positive, negative, negative also affects everyone, no? So, kung ikaw ay nakaramdam negative feeling, you're hesitant with yourself because of these online classes, no? That's why, maapektuhan din yung mga tao sa paligid mo, no? May mga survey, may mga sources dyan, no? Ano yung mga risk na maaari na pagdaanan ng isang estudyante? So, what you think may affect the world. And then, that's why the world also, mas naapektuhan din sila, the future. No, the future, if you're, right now, you're thinking about your negatives, you're thinking about bad thoughts, you're thinking about suicide or anything that may harm yourself, no? Your future, of course, will be miserable. You're going to be miserable, no? Kaya ang mangyayari niyan, magpapabalik-balik lang yan. That's why triangular method, ibig sabihin yan, as you start with yourself negatively, thinking from the bottom and then going up to the world and then going down and then the future and then going back to yourself. So if you think negatively, everything, of course, in your environment will be a negative, it's your negative imagination. So babalik din sa'yo yan to the world of thinking, maapektuhan ng future mo, maaaring ikaw ay maapektuhan sa work, unemployed, being experiencing despair, miserable, being unlucky or misfortunate, unfortunate in your work, no? So I don't think negatively. So iyan, isa sa message ng the triangle of negatives. And then, yun nga sinabi ko nga, that depression, of course, from the emotions, it affects your thinking. So thinking and emotions, sila ay konektado sa isa't isa. So if you're thinking negatively, of course, your emotions may be affected. And then if you're feeling guilty, you're feeling unease, you're feeling depressed, makapektuhan din ang iyong mental health. Kaya nga sila ay para silang vice versa, para silang magkapatid, para sila ay magkasundo. That's why this cognitive theory of depression is very relevant today, of course, in the teenagers, adolescent stage, anxiety, depression, overthinking, or the person suffering from hardships or struggles in life. And then, ito na, he does not try to invalidate beliefs, but let his client investigate beliefs functionality. So, ito, isa to sa mga solusyon na maaaring gawin ng isang counselor. No? Paniwalaan niya yung mga beliefs na negatively transform into positive thoughts. No, transforming negative thoughts into positive thoughts. So, tanggalin depression, suicide, anxiety. Yung mga treatment plans pag binigay ko kanina yung mga techniques na maaaring gamitin. Ito, maaaring transform I am ugly to I am beautiful. So, building the self-confidence. What are your hesitations? What are your struggles? What are conflicts? No, and we have the cognitive theory of depression. The last theory under cognitive, Eric Berne's transactional analysis. So when we say transactional analysis, no, from the word itself, transactional, there should be communication, there should be interaction. Transactional, there should be a two-way relationship. There should be a give and take relationship. That's why in transactional analysis model, we have this acronym PAC. So what is PAC? P stands for parent ego state, A stands for adult ego, and the C for child. Just a for short, P parent, A adult, and C is for the child. So ano naman yung connection nito? Para naman saan naman daw ang transactional analysis model. So if are going to analyze what is P or the parent, no, it says that the beliefs, no, reading, writing, what are the thoughts we learn from our parents. Of course, it helps us today in building us. So how can we read? How can we write? With our parents. No, we have our parent figures. No, their attitude, their behavior, aside from genetics, no, our physical characteristics, but also our inner characteristics. That's why the parent ego state is an important factor in building ourselves. That in a transactional analysis, there's a two-way because the parents transform to the genes and then transfer to us, no, as their children. So parent, the reading, writing, the techniques, the behavior, the attitude, we can get that from our parents. That's P. And then A, adult ego state. No, it's about our own reflection of ourselves. No? So we adapt changes, we adapt adjustment. So, ito na, nakadepende na to sa atin. Our behaviors, our thoughts and feelings, no? Our own interpretation of the world. No, ito na yung pinaghahalo-halo mo, no? From the parent and then the adult stage. And then the C, the child stage, ito naman yung mga ikaw ay bata. What are your beliefs during your childhood? Is that a good memory? Is that a bad memory? So, maaari mo ring ma-adapt yan today. So, parent plus child equals adult. No? Paano na-mold ng parent, paano na-mold ng iyong childhood memories ang iyong pagkatao today. Kaya nga two-way relationship. So that's give and take relationship. So that is transactional analysis model, the PAC, parent, adult, and child. So that's it. It's a very simple explanation. So that's the cognitive behavioral theories, no? Yung Albert Ellis, rational emotive behavioral therapy, and then Aaron Beck's cognitive theory of depression, and the third one, the last, Eric Burns' transactional analysis model. So that's the module number 4. It's very easy. Just take of the keywords, no? So you can answer our theories, bonus exercises for module number 4. So that's it. I hope you understand and learn from it. Just watch the video and if you want to repeat it, no, yung sa keywords natin yung nauna kong video sa YouTube. So it's better, pero ito kasi detalyado. So thank you so much for listening.